Good morning, everyone. Glad you're here today. 100 years ago this last Monday at Aeolian Hall in New York City, a brand new experiment in modern music with Paul Whiteman and his orchestra took place. It was the first attempt, or one of the very first attempts, to bring the world of jazz or dance band music. There's all kinds of issues with that, but we don't need to go into that bit of history this morning. But on that program with the Paul Whiteman Orchestra, a youngish 20-something George Gershwin wandered out and premiered a piece that had been fundamentally written in the last 3 weeks before that premiere date. And it celebrated its 100th birthday this last Monday. And I thought, I'm not going to play the whole piece, we'd be here for 20 minutes, but I'm going to give you one of the delicious themes from late in it. Some people call it the love theme from Rhapsody in Blue.
Good morning. Welcome to Mountain Vista Unitarian Universalist Congregation. Welcome to those of you who are able to make your way here today to our sanctuary. Welcome to those of you who are joining us live on Zoom. And welcome to those of you who may watch this on YouTube sometime in the future. Welcome into this sanctuary of safety, removed from the toils and troubles of everyday life for a little while, a respite from the scary world we live in. We are glad that you have joined us during this month of love, referring not only to Valentine's Day, but also to our liturgical theme for this month. We are better and we are stronger because we are here together. I'm Deborah Roberts. I'm the lead PA here at MVUU. Today I'm assisting our minister, the Reverend Matthew Funk-Crary. Although he has been with us for about a year and a half now, Reverend Matthew will be officially installed as our minister on April 21st. Save that date. There has been information about this in the newsletter and on the website with many more details to follow. We like to start our service by thanking those people who make it possible. I'm a little tired today after last night's festivities. So you guys know the drill. I'm looking for a little help in the thank yous today. Is there someone out there who would like to offer a thank you?
We can hear you in the room, but there's people online and people in the future. You can't be that loud.
I would like to thank the hospitality team, led by Joel and others, for the great job that they do every week to give us the snacks after the service. Thank you.
Somebody else? Joel over there and Jean-Bois.
Yeah, just for the record, regarding last night, I had nothing to do with it. Thank you, Steve.
Yeah, I want to thank our audiovisual team and our camera operator, Susan Lee, Robin, and Dan.
Melody has another one, and Tom.
Thanks to the invisible one, she's not here, Stacy Sosa, for managing our RE department.
Excellent.
And thank you to the parents for bringing their children.
Okay.
And thank you to Deb and the other pastoral associates who lend so much every Sunday.
Oh, thank you. I didn't expect that one. Okay. One more. We have time.
And I want to thank Joel Yelland for being our song leader.
Okay. And I'll add along with that a thank you to Chris for all that he does for us.
Yes,
Claudia?
and we must thank the greeters who really welcome us so warmly every morning.
Thank you. And I'd like to add a personal thank you to everyone who was involved in the music night that took place here last night. If you weren't here, it was an incredible evening. So much talent, so much fun. A special thank you to Hobie, who first had the idea to do this and saw it through to its conclusion, and to Mary Walker, who was his able assistant. When Reverend Matthew and I met to discuss what the message would be for today, I immediately thought of the connection to what I experienced last week. I had the great good fortune of spending a week on a border immersion trip to El Paso, where we were hosted by a Hispanic Lutheran church. Their pastor is Rosemary Guzman, originally from Bolivia, now a U.S. citizen. This church does not have a lot of money, so Pastor Rosemary likes to say they run on love. That applies not only to how they interact with each other, but also to their border mission. They currently have a married couple from Venezuela with their 18-month-old son, Mateo, in sanctuary at the church. They also have the capacity to house 25 refugees in bunk beds in their humble church, though it was empty while we were there, as there currently is not a crush at the border in El Paso. Don't believe everything you see on the news. They do not really have the funds to support this, but somehow they do it. Somehow they always manage, and Rosemary attributes that to love. Somebody brings a pan of beans or rice, somebody else gets a supermarket to donate a box of clementines, Somebody else goes to a thrift shop and buys a few needed articles of clothing. It happens because of the love they have for humanity and because many of the members were beneficiaries of similar efforts when they first arrived in the United States. They were shown love. While there, we met with Ruben Garcia, the director of Annunciation House, which is the umbrella organization for all of the shelters in El Paso, sort of like Casalitas here. He's been doing this work for 46 years. His message is that the problem is not at the border, but rather with us in the interior, in particular, our faith communities. Does that surprise you? He says that the reasons for coming to the U.S. have not changed, jobs and safety, but that we have changed. We are less accepting, less willing to help, less able to show love. He maintains that if every religious community in the United States were to shelter one family, similar to what we have done here at MVUU, the problem would be greatly mitigated. And how would struggling congregations manage that? Because they believe in love. The kind of love that embraces humankind and makes things possible. The kind of love that provides in times of need. One of the quotes that Reverend Matthew chose to center on for today's service is from Dr. Cornel West. He says, "Never forget that justice is what love looks like in public." That is such an apt quote for what I experienced last week in El Paso and for what we need going forward. Today's chalice lighting was written by the Reverend Mark Morrison Reed. The central task of the religious community is to unveil the bonds that bind each of us to all. There is a connectedness, a relationship discovered amid the particulars of our own lives and the lives of others. Once felt, it inspires us to act for justice. It is the church that assures us that we are not struggling for justice on our own, but as members of a larger community. The religious community is essential, for alone our vision is too narrow to see all that must be seen, and our strength too limited to do all that must be done. Together, our vision widens and our strength is renewed.
Throughout our week, there are particular joys and sorrows that touch our individual lives. As we gather here once again, we honor these within and among us in our ritual of joy and of sorrow. Pouring the water that we have collected and that we have gathered from our Sonoran rainfall, this is the bond that our community shares. This stone is for the joys that lift our hearts. And this is for the sorrow that weighs us down. Our bonds hold all of it, the weight, the heights, our individual lives, renewing and giving us strength to live into our aspirations. Our pastoral care team, Sally and Michelle, Joel and Savannah, Cheryl, Tom, and I will be adding to this weekly ritual by listening to your joys and sorrows, and then reporting them back, those that you wish to share with the congregation. We welcome you reaching out and sharing your individual joys and your sorrows with us. And specifically, Tom will be collecting our joys and our sorrows before we place stones into our community waters. The first song that we will be sharing this morning is Spirit of Life. It's known to many as a Unitarian Universalist anthem all its own. And I invite you to rise in body or in spirit and join your voices together with Joel leading us.
Spirit of life, come unto me. Sing in my heart all the stirrings of compassion. Blow in the wind, rise in the sea, move in the hand, giving life the shape of justice. Roots hold me close, wings set me free. Spirit of life, come to me, come to me.
Once is not enough with that. Let's sing it a second time.
Spirit of life, come unto me. Sing in my heart all the stirrings of compassion. Blow in the wind, rise in the sea, move in the hand, giving life the shape of justice. Roots hold me close, wings set me free. Spirit of life, come to me, come to me.
Please be seated. Before I invite you